guys, so today I'm here to do a TBR video, which I never ever do. Yabba yabba do. I mean, you guys would clearly know that I am moving house because there's no books behind me, which is also still a stress. And I hate that I can just see these empty shelves in the viewfinder and I'm just concerned, you know, it's stressful that there is just nothing going on there. But I'm doing a TBR video in a sense because it's going to be a couple of months until I have access to my books again, because we are going through the process of moving now, and then we have to find a house, and then it takes 6 weeks to be able to move into the house, and it could take longer than that. So I'm thinking I'm going to be at my grandma's for probably at least 3 to 4 months, depending on like how well we go. And I needed to keep some books out, obviously, that I would hopefully read. And basically I kept out 17 books from my collection, so about like 1 or 2% of my books are still in my room that are books that I really hope that I can actually get to reading, and I hope that I will read in the time that I'm there. And I also hope for the fact that because my TBR has gone from 400 to 17, there is books here that I will manage to read because I've got nothing else to do. Honestly, having such a big TBR, it is so hard to actually decide what to read. So I'm hoping that these books will get read, and they're all books that I've really wanted to read for a long time, or they could be new books and just things that I know I really want to read. And if I manage to read all of these, then I will go buy new ones because I will have nothing else to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and like my semi-TBR for the next couple of months. So the first one I'm currently reading, and that is Ghosts of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, Kelly Lincoln, Robin Wasserman, and I am this far into the book, so I am pretty close. But I've actually got this marker here because I'm reading the first 8 stories, but then I'm not reading the last 2 because they're set after Queen of Air and Darkness. So I've always been of the mind to read Ghosts of the Shadow Market before Queen of Air and Darkness because it's given me a lot of information about characters and about plot points and things to look for in Queen of Air and Darkness. Like, I definitely think having this information beforehand is extremely useful and I'm really enjoying it. But these 2 are set in 2013 after Queen of Air and Darkness, so I feel like this is the best way to go. So I'm reading this and I'm nearly close. I've got a story and a half left to go and I'm really enjoying this. Pretty much this one's being brought with me with only 2 stories left to go, but I'm still so excited. So of course the next one that I had to bring was Queen of Air and Darkness as well, because I am making this happen. I'm making myself read this book, and you know what I just realized? It's, for one, how thick this book is again, holding it in my hands, because like all of the Cassandra Clare books I've been reading have been like quite a lot smaller, so like this is such a big book to grip. But I've also had it been like sun stained on the sides. Like, it's really nice here and then it's just extremely yellow here, and I'm like, when did I have this in the sun? I'm concerned. But I am so excited to read this. I can't believe I'm actually at the point that I'm reading new Cassandra Clare content. Like, I've been enjoying Ghosts of the Shadow so much, and like I am so obsessed with everything again. I know this is going to be a killer, like this is going to hurt, but I just have the highest hope that everything's going to be okay, even though at the end of Lord of Shadows some bad shit did happen. I just hope it's going to be okay, but there is a lot of book for there to be a lot of pain until it's okay, which is what I'm hoping for. And then I also made the decision to bring Chain of Gold as well, because after reading 2 of the novella stories, and one of them was about Matthew and one of them was about Anna, I really want to read this book. Honestly, before The Dark Artifices and The Last Hours came out, The Last Hours was the series I was most excited for, just for the fact that it was going to be about Tessa and Will's children and kind of everyone's children, like Gideon's children and Gabriel's children and Celia's children and just like Charlotte's children, like all the kids. Like, they're all got their own kids and they've got the whole thing going on, and I just was so excited for this. And also to have the series finally when bad shit doesn't happen to the parents. Like, we know that they're all going to be amazing parents and actually look after their children, and I am just so excited. Like, it's been so long, and this one's a lot thinner than Queen of Air and Darkness. I've noticed, like, holding this up. I haven't kept out Chain of Iron though, because I don't know how well I'm gonna go with this. And then if I do read this back to back, because I'm thinking I'm probably gonna get to Queen of Air and Darkness and maybe read some of the other ones and then pick this one up, or I may just pick this one up. I know I'm gonna be mad at myself though if I end up reading this one and then I really want to read Chain of Iron, and then I might cave and have to buy like a physical copy and then maybe like sell that down the line just so that I can like finally read the story. I feel like I'm actually battling myself now. Maybe I should have kept out Chain of Iron, but we'll see how I go. We'll see how it goes. Okay, next I also kept out Law by Alexandra Bracken, and there is a bookmark in this because I planned on reading this very, very soon, like in the next couple of days, because I'm doing this buddy readathon, and this is one of the books that we're going to buddy read. I'm basically been waiting to read this because I'm going to finish Ghost of the Shadow Market up until the point that I need to be, and then I'm going to read Lore. So Queen of Air and Darkness isn't going to happen straight away, but that will probably be like next month is my guess of when I'll start reading that. But I want to read this month, and Miranda doesn't have like that long on her loan. Like, she's got like 11 days left, and I don't think I can do this in 11 days because this book's like 500 pages long, but we're gonna see how we go. And what's really good too is I've been listening to like a lot of audiobooks, and I've got a lot saved that are books that she wants to read too, so I've been able to like audiobook listen because I've been listening to them as I've been packing shit, so it's very useful. But I'm keen to finally read this, and I just like hope that it's good because I've heard very mixed things. The next book I just really want to read because it's Of Curses and Kisses by Zendaya Manon, and I am like 40 pages into this book, and I've picked it up for a readathon and I just could not get into it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to just reread the first 40 pages because I was reading it, but I also was just not focusing at all on anything. And I remember filming a vlog for this where I was trying to read this and I couldn't do it, but now that I'm like semi getting my like vibe back for reading, I'm bringing this with me, and I hope to read it soon. And again, I'm gonna just start from page 1 and hope for the best, but I do really want to read it because it is Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it just sounds really fun. Next, I've just got like a whole stack of contemporaries because they're just easy reads and I know I'll get through them. So firstly, I'm bringing Solitaire by Alice Oseman because I love the Heartstopper comics and I've read all of the novellas, but I need to start getting into her novels, and I definitely plan on reading them in like release order. But Solitaire I am extra excited for because Nick and Charlie do feature in this, and I just want to see them because like I love them. And soon enough, the last volume of Heartstopper is going to be the last time we ever see them, so I just want to savor everything that I can. Next, I am bringing Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid with me because I still haven't read this book. I was just really mad that I couldn't have the audiobook because everyone says that the audiobook experience is the best way to listen to it, but it's like the only Taylor Jenkins Reid book that isn't available on script is this one, so I'm just gonna have to physically read it, and I am excited to do it. I also haven't read Malibu Rising, but it only just came out, so I think that that's okay. And like, I do want to buy it, but I'm also really not doing online shopping right now with the move and then being at my grandma's. I might do some online shopping, but it's more when this starts to dwindle is when I'll do that. Next, I'm bringing People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. The main reason I'm bringing this is it's one of the buddy reads for the buddy readathon, so I want to read this, and I don't know if Miranda is able to get a copy of this. Like, I think she was trying to loan it out at her library, but I don't know if it was going to work. But I definitely will probably start this, but depending on how long it takes me to read Lore, like I might read Lore and then I might pick this up next. But we'll see what I end up doing, but I definitely know I want to read this. I'm very keen for this contemporary. It is one of my anticipated reads and I think it's going to be good. I'm also bringing Not the Girl You Married by Andy J. Christopher. So this is like a gender bent, like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but I still think it's going to have like the same premise. But I've had this one for so long and I haven't picked it up yet. So this is just me forcing myself to read this because this one was available on audio and then it disappeared. So I bought the physical copy and it still hasn't happened. And then I'm bringing both of these ones because I really want to finish this trilogy this year because it would be such an achievement just to be able to do it. But I've got Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and Act Your Eve, Eva Brown by Talia Hibbett. So this was on my anticipated reads list, so I feel like, again, accomplishment. But I am going half contemporary, half fantasy with all the books that I'm taking, but I definitely would love to read these. Like Get a Life, Chloe Brown was very cute, and I think the other sisters are going to have great stories as well. Next, I'm bringing The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Hennings. The main reason I bought this book is, for one, the cover is gorgeous and I'm just obsessed with this, and the fact that it's a Princess Bride retelling is giving me life, but it's also for the fact that Grace over at G-Swizzel Books, which I will link down below because you follow her, like she's also the person that runs 7 on Sunday, which is the video thing that I do every Sunday, so like follow her because she's great. But she just talks and raves about this book all the time, and that is another reason that I tipped over to buying it. And I know I had it on my like wish list, and then I bought all the books in my wish list, which was just such a moment. Even though I spent a lot of money, it was fun. But I'm really keen to read this because there is just so many elements that I am obsessed with, and I'm sure this is going to become a favorite, and I just can't wait for that moment that I actually read it. I'm bringing Scarlet by Marissa Meyer to get back into the rereads because I had this whole plan that I was going to reread all the Lunar Chronicles and then finally read Winter and Ferris, which are still unread books from me, and also Stars Above, which is the novella collection, and I was so keen, and I started this in like 2020, and I read Cinder, and then I never continued on, and now we're halfway through 2021. I could almost reread Cinder again just to get the story, and it's just so painful. But I'm bringing Scarlet because I want to try and get started on this reread, but I wasn't going to bring the rest of them because that's just too many books. But Scarlet and Wolf's relationship is my favorite, so I'm really excited to like dive back into this reread, and I'm just very keen. Another book I'm bringing because it's someone's favorite is Heart of Iron by Ashley Posden. So Sasha, who is my booktube bestie, she's at Sashreads, and I'll also link her down below because she's amazing. You should follow her and watch her videos because she is like one of my favorite people ever. But she read this book quite a few years ago, and it was like one of her favorite things, and she raves about this book and she talks about it so often, and I bought it because I knew that she liked it. And there was even a time where it was either a readathon or I got her to pick a TBR or something, and she picked this and I didn't get to it. So like, this is another reason to bring these certain books with me, because I will finally get to them because I'm not focusing on all this other crap. I'm gonna try and read the books that I'm bringing that I'm just really keen for, but I'm sure I'm gonna love it because it's an Anastasia retelling, which is something that I just really enjoy reading, and I'm very excited. Next, I need to bring Queen of Ruin by Tracy Banghart because Grace and Fury was such a great read when I read it a couple of years ago, and I literally read it in one day. Like, that's how invested I was in that book, and I don't think I've really read a book in a whole day since then. Like, there's probably been circumstances, but I can't think of anything. And then it took forever to get the sequel because like it didn't get released for ages, and then the stuff in Book Depository was a bit weird, and I wasn't really sure like what book I was actually buying. So then I finally bought it last year. Still haven't read it, but I'm bringing this because I need to know what happens, because it did actually end on such a cliffhanger, Grace and Fury, and I want to know, like, I need to know what happens to the princesses and to the sisters, and like the vibe is strong, and I hope it's good. Like, if this disappoints me, I'm gonna be so mad. I need to bring my circus book, Where Dreams Ascend by Janelle Angeles, because I bought this only for the fact that it's about a magical competition within a circus, which is basically the plot point of my favorite book ever. I don't care if this is a complete rip-off of my favorite book ever, because I love the night circus and I need to feel the vibes. I need more circus in my life. I want to go to a circus. Like, it would just be great, but we can't because of COVID. But I think this is going to be really good, and the sequel's also coming out really soon. And then I put the sequel on my anticipated reads list, but this book hasn't been read yet, has it? So I'm gonna try to do it. Like, I really hope, like, if I actually get really slumpy again or I get really busy, I will be sad that I don't read these books, but I really think it's gonna happen. But basically it's just a list of, you know, these are the books that I'll physically be able to hold up in videos when I'm at my grandma's, and everything else will be photo. And finally, we want to read Finale by Stephanie Garber. I totally didn't plan that, but that was really enjoyable for me. But I recently read Legendary, and I say recently, like last year, and I was planning on reading Finale, but then I just didn't get to it. But I know that Scarlett and Tessa both have perspectives in this book, and after the end of Legendary, I have a lot of questions and a lot of things that I need answered, so I'm very keen to read this. I don't know where the story is going to go, but this book's been out for so long, and I'm like, was never there when the vibes were happening of everyone talking about this. Like, I couldn't understand it, but now I'm going to try and read this and hope for the best. Oh my god, I'm trying to hold them up so that you can see, but it's not happening very well. But look, this is like my TBR for the next couple of months. I have a good selection of books here, and I think it's gonna be good. Thumbnails, am I right? That stuff was intense and my battery is dying, which is always the story, but good, we came to the end of the video. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and wish me luck on actually getting these books read. And honestly, if you have a priority of what you want me to read so you can get my opinion on sooner, let me know. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!